Marianne here, and welcome to the posture workout. Let's get started with our posture workout of the month, a stretching and stabilizing routine for the hips. So we'll start off here in static back. Place your knees right over a chair or a block where you have your knees and hips at 90 degrees. And I want to remind you that you'll get the best results if you do these exercises in this particular order daily, first thing in the morning. This should take you about 15 minutes. Now be sure to watch this video through at least once before you begin the routine for the first time and take some notes. So the way this video is going to go is for each exercise, I'll be first showing you the correct way to do it, and then I'll show you the common mistakes that you want to avoid. Now here for static back today, I'm going to share some more information, some in-depth information about static back and what this exercise is doing, because at first glance, it may seem like you're just laying there on the floor, which actually isn't true. There's quite a lot going on here. When the body is not in a vertical alignment, so in other words, when the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles are not directly stacked one on top of the other, that the body is unbalanced. And in that situation, gravity will actually exacerbate that imbalance. So for instance, your right knee might get sore after going out for a jog, but it's not because of the pounding or even because of the knee, but rather because the hips are misaligned, thus putting more weight on the right side than the left. So static back is a great way to use gravity to our advantage so that when we're off balance, we can actually begin to put our bodies into a better position. So static back actually allows gravity to work with us to begin the balancing process. So when you lie on your back and you put your legs up on a block or a chair, it causes a symmetrical right angle posture at the knee joint. The position of the ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders, so the low joints, coupled with gravity at work on our torso, causes the pelvis to rotate to a right angle. Now when that happens, the muscles of the back become bilaterally engaged. So the muscles of the back can work unilaterally or they can work bilaterally. When we're off balance, they work unilaterally, which means that muscles on one side of the spine are working harder than muscles on the other side of the spine. So the goal here is to get the body to where it's working bilaterally, where the muscles on either side of the spine are working equally hard. And that's what lying in static back does. The pelvis and knee rotate themselves using gravity and the stimulus of your block or your chair, and that rotation causes those back muscles to bilaterally engage. So, incidentally, there's really nothing static or passive about static back, even though it may look like you're just lying on the ground. But the truth is, static back is an incredibly active maneuver. Contrary to what some people might believe, achieving symmetry in our bodies does not require emotion alone. It requires a symmetrical demand on the body, and that's what static back is. It's a symmetrical stimulus that's engaging all of the muscles of the muscular system in a process of redistribution. So there's a lot more going on here than just getting off your feet. Be sure to breathe into your belly when you're in static back. Keep your arms at 45 degrees. And let's go over some common mistakes. So having the knees not at 90 degrees. I'm showing you what that looks like here. Don't make this mistake. Here I've got the knees at 90, so make note of that. Now here I'm showing you what it looks like to have the arms at 90. So now I'm bringing the arms down to 45 degrees. That's where you want the arms, is right there, palms up. Now you don't want the arms all the way in at your body either. See how that brought my shoulder joint up off the floor? We don't want that. We definitely don't want palms down. So here, once again, is the correct way, arms at 45 degrees. Second exercise, assisted hip lift. Place the feet on the wall, knees and hips at 90 degrees. Cross one leg over the other. Place the ankle bone right at that soft spot just above the knee. And press the knee out towards the wall, just using the strength of the hip. So here I'm pressing my right knee out towards the wall. We're going to hold this for 1 minute on each side. And the most important thing here is that you keep your pelvis in a neutral position. So I'm going to show you what that looks like at the end. But for now, make note of what I'm doing. So you're going to want to have your arms at 45 degrees with your palms up. Breathe into your belly. Relax your upper body. Yes, I know it's hard. I know the muscles in your neck and your upper back are wanting to tense up and help out here. Try to let those muscles relax. Press the knee out towards the wall, just using the muscles of your hip. Hold the hips steady. Keep pressing that knee out. Switch sides. Cross one leg over the other. Place the ankle bone at the soft spot just above the knee. And press the knee out towards the wall using the strength of your hip. Keep the hips level. Good job. Breathe into your belly and relax that upper body. Relax that upper back right between those shoulder blades. Let that tension go. Open and close your jaw a couple times. Make sure that that jaw, neck, shoulder area is staying nice and relaxed. You should be using the hips and the legs here. Keep pressing that knee out and breathe into your belly using your diaphragm. This exercise activates the muscles that go to sleep when we sit, the lateral hip stabilizer muscle group. So here from the top, I'm showing you what this looks like. Now pay careful attention. I'm showing you the incorrect way to do this. See how my hips moved? Now here's how you fix that. I like to put my hands on my hips so that I have a reference point, so I recommend that you do the same thing. Straighten out your hips by bringing your knee in towards your chest, and then press the knee out, holding the hips steady. So don't make the mistake of thinking of this as a stretch. So don't push with your hand like I'm doing here. Don't do that. This is not a stretch, guys. This is a stabilizing exercise for the pelvis. That's why it's so important that you hold your hips level. Now, here's a modification. If you're tight and if you can't cross your leg all the way, scoot back away from the wall until your tailbone is flat to the floor, just like I'm showing you here. Now let's get into our third exercise, hip crossover stretch. Measure a fist and a half width between your ankle joints so that your hips are right in line with your knees and your ankles. And place a 45-degree angle at your knees. Place your arms directly out from your shoulders, palms down, and cross one leg over the other. I'm starting here with the right leg, but you can do either leg. Find that soft spot just above the knee with your ankle bone. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Allow the legs to come all the way to the side so the outer portion of your leg and the bottom side of your foot is touching the floor. Turn your head to the right. Press the knee out. Turn your head to the right only if you started on the same side that I did. Otherwise, you'll turn your head to the left. Press that knee out and hold it for a minute. Breathe into your belly and your lower back. Breathe using your diaphragm. Keep pressing that knee out, holding it out. And I want you to flatten your palms to the floor. Spread your fingers. That's right, spread them as wide as they'll go. Flatten your palms, flatten your fingers, even try to flatten your wrists. It's very important to stabilize the shoulders. Relax through the shoulders. Keep breathing. And keep your legs crossed when you come out of this position. So at the end of our minute, see how I'm keeping my legs crossed? You'll want to do the same thing. Uncross your legs, switch sides, find that soft spot just above your knee with your ankle bone. Take a deep breath in and drop your legs to the side and watch closely how I keep my right foot right in line with my hip joint. So you'll want to do the same thing. Do not let your foot slide across the floor. That is the biggest mistake that you can possibly make. It will completely counteract the positive effect of this exercise. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute here. But for now, press your knee out using the strength of your hip. Breathe. And be sure to rotate your head in the opposite direction. You should be breathing into your belly and your lower back. Your breathing is going to start to loosen the muscles of the lower back. Flatten your palms to the floor. Flatten your wrists. This exercise derotates the pelvis. Now watch closely. Here's the biggest mistake. See how my foot slid across the floor? I'm showing you that here so that you can avoid that mistake and keep the foot right in line with the hip. Now for cats and dogs, place a fist and a half width between your knees. That's going to bring your knee joints hip width distance apart. Bring your hip joint directly on top of the knee, and be sure to bring the shoulder joint directly on top of the wrist. Spread the fingers and begin cats and dogs. We're going to go through 10 cats and dogs here today. Inhale, exhale. Don't worry too much about which way you breathe. Just make sure that you're breathing. Make sure you're not holding your breath. So here we are resetting the hips, the spine, and the shoulders. We're moving the hips, spine, and shoulders through a full range of motion. So make sure that you're keeping the elbow joints straight and keep your weight equally distributed from your knees to your hands. Keep your weight equally distributed from left to right. Lead with your pelvis. This should be a hip-driven movement. The head will go last. And let's go over a couple of common mistakes here. First common mistake is moving front to back. Big mistake. Instead, you want to just move straight up and down with no front to back movement. Now, second common mistake is the elbows bend. When the elbows bend, the shoulders don't do their job. So by keeping your elbows straight, you are going to ensure that your shoulders have to move. And finally, stand up and find a wall for air bench. We're going to hold air bench for 2 minutes today, but don't worry too much about the time. First, I want you to focus on doing this exercise correctly and hold it for however long you can and build up to holding it for 2 minutes. This is one of the best ways to reset your hips and to actually leave your entire body in neutral and to leave your body engaged and activated and ready for your day. So bring your feet hip width apart, bring your body back up against a wall, press your weight through your heels, press your lower back flat into the wall, relax your stomach. You might find that kind of hard to relax your stomach muscles, but try to do that. Breathe into your belly and push your weight through your heels. Our objective here is to reset the pelvis against the flat surface of the wall. So we're simply using the wall and your own body strength to accomplish that. So your mission here is to press evenly through both feet. Even try wiggling your toes a couple times to get your weight back into your heels. So your lower back should be flat against the wall. Now you might find that hard to accomplish, and if that is challenging for you to get your lower back flat, you can slouch your upper body away from the wall and push your lower back into the wall. Push and hold that lower back flat into the wall and breathe. Breathe into your belly. So you should feel this in your quads. You should feel this in your thigh muscles, the front sides of your upper legs. Now, I'm showing you here the biggest mistakes that people make in air bench with the heels closer to the wall than the knees. Be sure to have your heels right out in front of the knees. And the second biggest mistake is with the low back arched off the wall. Be sure to press the low back flat into the wall. And we're holding this here for 2 minutes. But again, do what you can, and congratulations on completing your daily posture workout. Remember, improving posture is a process. Make this a daily practice, just like brushing your teeth first thing in the morning. This routine is going to awaken and reset your body for your day. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.